the absolute best movie that was ever made, and I have that on good authority because I said it. Wait, that's not right. Hi,
Oh, we're
everybody.
not the same height today. I gotta go. There we are. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sitting at a weird angle, and I'm
You're
not at my
sitting.
normal place. Normally I do it from the townhome, and I'm not there, and I don't have my normal computer. I'm at visiting with my daughter Whitney and her husband Nathan and my grandchildren. My granddaughter graduated from preschool today. Let me tell you, the most precious thing I've ever seen in my life are children. And I happen to like mine the most. Maybe I don't know. I've got, but seeing those preschoolers in their white cap and gown, it
Oh.
was just gorgeous and precious. And so I came up for that, and I got a haircut today. It was this
That
hair right here. I got that one cut. I got a haircut, and actually, I went to this place. Lisa, you're not gonna believe this. They cut each hair, every one of them, all for one low price. And I'm
they
not.
don't do the little cap and gowns here. That's bigger than we are here.
Well, it was so cute, and
Oh,
I'm a big blubbering mess.
you were crying.
I was tearing up. One of
I might be at the high school one though. That's this
oh,
year.
I look. I'm a biggest crybaby, and I don't mind it, quite frankly. At weddings, funerals, um, the graduations, births of children.
Oh,
I'm a big old softy. That's what it is. So I'm
I'm
okay
not
with
sure what to expect anymore. All things considered.
that. Which clown is coming out today?
I think I'm going to be a mess at the high school thing though, because if I feel like I went to school because this has been one long struggle after another, and he's still got like 62 something lessons to finish in one class in the next 2 weeks. Right.
Okay, that's 14 days. Divide that out. That's four a day. He can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're hoping. Oh, Janet's on. Oh,
Hey,
Scott's
Janet,
on too.
I'm going to
And
click.
Peg.
I'm I'm going to
Peg's on.
click the comments button, but since I'm on this laptop and I don't really know how to use it, if I go away, I'll log back in. All right.
Okay.
There we go. Hey, I could see Peg and Janet and Scott now. Hi, guys.
Yay. And Peg says,
Also,
hi,
since I'm
kids.
traveling too, I forgot to bring my coffee mug. So today I'm drinking Mexican coffee.
I've got our mug.
Oh, now,
Yay.
normally that's what I'll have my coffee in.
And here, you want to say hi to the show? Yay.
Hey,
And
buddy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good.
yeah, he'd had a nice concert, spring concert. The last one, though, he had a nice solo
Yeah.
in
Did
Birdland.
multiple ones.
Multiple solos. He did awesome. And he did in the Everybody Silence Your Phone song.
Yeah.
That's got to be great.
They did at the beginning. I like that.
Unfortunately, Select voted not to bring that one to Boston.
Oh,
tomorrow,
they're
but-
going tomorrow morning to Boston for 2 days for a field trip. You're seeing a play, right?
Yes, and we're also performing.
Oh, awesome.
Unfortunately, we're also not bringing Birdland.
Oh, they're not
that'll be
bringing the one
fun.
he has the thing in. Yeah, this is the show. I'm not just talking.
Yeah.
This is live TV in our
Yeah,
version
this
of
is.
it. Hey, Alex, when you get a chance, Alex, send me the lyrics of that "Turn Your Phone Off" song. I think that would be hilarious.
Oh, the Turn Your Phone Off song. I want the lyrics too. That would be awesome. I don't know if
So,
we're going to
how's
get
your
them.
week been? What have you had going on?
What I brought to share is some reminiscing marketing things, thinking
Okay.
everybody might want to try some of these, and I haven't done some of them for a little while. But my week was going better since I got my new phone because I had a phone disaster. You know what was happening, and it's been doing it for a while, but I didn't think I was at that stage, right? I'd go like 2 days without getting a text, which I get a lot of texts.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden I got 17. And it did it a couple times, and I thought maybe I was out of range or something was going on. I didn't know what was going on. And where I live, it could be anything, but it was the phone. So then came the morning. Not only did I not get any text, but the phone you couldn't call out or in. So I sucked it up and went down to the store because I hate doing that. But my phone was old enough. It's a 10. The old one was a 10. that it wasn't going to work for the new 5G or whatever anyway.
Right.
Now the bad part is I got the new phone. It's off. And I even got blue. But the bad part is they told me my mother's phone needs replaced too.
Your mother's phone? Is that what you said?
Yes,
It kind of broke up in the middle of that sentence. I was wondering what word just came out of your mouth.
my mother's phone.
Your mother's
Yeah,
phone. Okay. All right. Good.
which I don't
Screen room.
explaining it. Oh, what are you doing?
All I heard was something that's broke and it broken. Never
Oh,
mind. Keep
okay.
going.
I'll go there. Okay, so yeah, oh, Janet says what has been going on because she knows what's been going. Yeah, I'm enjoying the man buffet, sampling dishes. So yeah,
I'm
oops.
just going to be quiet at this point.
I said that on the networking, the Go Giver networking call. Matter of fact, I did want to say that the Go Giver networking thing, this particular one, they did let anybody come on. Anyone can go on those for only $20.
Right.
And I met 3 new ones. You get 4. One of them I already knew, but I get name, address, phone, and birthday. I get to find out who they are. And actually, the two of them went to the mastermind. Yeah, and actually, I've got to go to that because now I feel like an idiot not having gone because everybody has such good things to say.
At least I am not exaggerating when I say that's probably the most powerful business type event so you could work on your business I've ever been to. And I was one of the master coaches, so I realized it's a little bit different as far as my role goes. But just to be there and to watch what was going on, Bob and Kathy do such an awesome job with that. It is absolutely amazing.
So everybody gets an hour dedicated to them where they can see that. My problem is I haven't had somebody looking at my business and my decisions before, and I'm worried that they won't. It's not. I guess I must care what other people think, or it wouldn't bother me. However,
Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put that particular clown back in your trunk and pull out the clown that says, "I'm confident. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at this thing, and it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks because I've got my stuff together."
okay,
And because you'll get so much out of it, if you decide to go, you'll get so much out of it.
because you're
And
supposed to bring a challenge for
particular challenge that you're dealing with.
Yeah. I think my challenge is actually I don't think big enough.
Well,
That
you and I
sounds
can
like a
talk
weird
about
thing,
some
but
things not on air because I know there's some of the business topics that you have in your life you don't want to talk about.
yeah,
But one of the biggest things that you're navigating right now is that idea about how certain
confidence,
things.
the confidence. Okay.
No, I'm not talking
No,
about
no.
confidence. I'm talking about a business issue that you're dealing with behind the scenes.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that
No,
might be something to share
that
with
would
down
be
the
a
road.
good one to do. Yeah. I don't know. The August one is probably realtors too.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
No,
okay.
they do one realtor one per year, and that one's already happened.
Oh, okay. Jason's on. JJ Dynamite.
Hey,
JJ Dynamite. Yay.
I tell you what, Jason is going places. You guys can watch this. I told him we were on a Zoom together this week, and I told him, I said, Bubba, you are right on that part where you're going up like this, getting ready to take off because he's got good messaging. He's good at what he does. He can help people make a lot of money, and he really has that something extra that you can tell. Okay, this kid's going somewhere. Watch what happens, and
It's
I think that's who
contagious
Jason is.
too.
I really do.
I love that. He was kidding us because we both were doing the same body language on the other call. We've been hanging around too much. We're starting to look
We
like
were both
each
doing
other.
it, and we started laughing, and Bob saw us laughing and mentioned it, and I feel bad now.
And then you went like this, and I went like this, and it's like we had a secret thing going on. Yeah, that was funny. No, and Jason said he's mind blown that I don't think big enough. But you know what? In the past, when I've felt I don't feel stuck right now. By the way, that's not true. I feel like I had a big giant, awesome leap forward.
Right,
That is how I feel about business, right?
right.
But I still think that every time I've even been questioning anything, almost always it's because I'm not thinking big enough. Almost always. So
Yeah.
I just want to, that's what I'm thinking is I need to think outside of what I'm already doing
Right.
into a bigger role. Yeah. So, go ahead. What were you
Don't remember what I was going to say, so just keep going.
Oh, okay. Well, I picked out some stuff to share because you haven't seen it, and why it would be interesting to everybody else is these are some things that happened during along the way as I'm doing my career. Matter of fact, Teresa Staples is on,
Hi,
and
Teresa.
hey, Teresa, and I've known her for not that long, so she wouldn't have seen any of this stuff.
Okay.
And it's funny if you're just popping into the story here, some of this stuff is interesting, but how it happened is what I think is interesting because if I was able to make this happen, so can you. And it really has helped most of it. So,
Okay.
the thing I wanted to start with, if you don't mind, um, uh, I used to think, and I don't know if you had to do marketing like I've had to do. No, okay. So I hope this is
I
interesting
did a
for
lot of
you.
prospecting and a lot of initiating sales calls on the phone and in person. But the marketing thing, even with what you've done with the Blue Hair book and everything that we've done, that's it's been a learning experience for me. That's been also very enjoyable just to watch what you're doing.
Oh, okay. So this might be interesting enough because everything had some kind of backstory or reason to it. And most of this that I want to show you worked out really well. So
Okay.
um, I sat here for a long time up in New Hampshire. I was doing good. I started making the national list and stuff like that. And I kept thinking, certainly Avon's going to see that I'm doing well up here. And because I'm out so far and it's so unlikely, they'll feature me in something. And that'll be awesome because I could use that to get more publicity.
Right.
And then it dawned on me, and I heard somebody say it somewhere. That's always how this happens. They're not going to find you out of the blue. It's not build it and they will come. It's not field of dreams. I have to raise my hand and go, hey, yo, I'm doing good up here. And I think everybody would get a kick out of my story. And that's hard to do, especially when you have as little confidence as I have. I wanted to say had, but I realized that I still have confidence issues. But I was willing to do it because of the outcome.
Right.
So it had nothing to do with my confidence. It's because I knew more people would find out what I did if I raised my hand.
And you know something? I read this in some book. It was really great. It touched my heart so much that you can be successful at anything if enough people know what you're doing. It's called the success rule. It's in this book called "Said the Lady with the Blue Hair." You guys may have heard of this. I don't know.
So you might have seen this, might have not. But so because I made, I want to say a nuisance of myself. And you know who it was with is Angie. Angie Rossi was running my side of the country for
Mhm.
years, and I
Right.
was assigned to his section. And when I sent out newsletters to my downline, whenever I got a thing in the paper, I would buy an extra copy of the paper and send it to him. I would send him my newsletter. I kept him in the loop of everything. And the point was to see if they would use me and stuff. And they did start using me and stuff. So then when they decided to do this big giant project called The Rich and Famous of Avon, this was in oh God, I want to say 2000 is when they started working on it. I think it was. I was already a senior executive at the top of the pay plan, but I was unknown, and they picked one black person, one Hispanic person, and one white person. And I was representing White Avon, evidently. But I didn't know that at the time, by the way.
Right.
And I didn't know the other two women.
Right.
And this is the cover of it was a VHS. And this is
That,
the thing. Whoop, there it
that
is.
is so cool. That is so cool.
And I saved, and this is something I'm really glad that I did all along the way. So everybody do this. I saved stuff and laminated it all along the way. And I have a big container of it so that sometimes I've used it again, like
Mhm.
I'm using them tonight.
Right.
Sometimes it's just been nice to remember what happened and see if I can't do that again, whatever it was. But so this was VHS tapes at the beginning and then later, and it went in all the kits, the starter kits. This was the beginning of everyone in Avon knowing who I was. So right after this happened and I went to a convention, holy cow, I never imagined that kind of It was fun too. Go ahead.
That's a weird thing when it first happens, because with me and my career with Aflac, that began to happen on a state level, uh, probably about the same time frame, about 2000, 2001, where I was getting noticed on a state level. And then when I progressed into becoming a state manager for Texas, then it was on more of a national level. And I'd get on national stages and I'd be on stage at big things. And uh, that is a different feeling in life. And it's good because, you don't think about that always. At least I didn't think about that. That wasn't a goal. My goal was to feed my family and build a career and succeed. But as you start having that happen and you realize you're going places and people that you don't know you, it's a very interesting life experience. It really is.
You know, it's funny. I never really take all that as a compliment. That's probably my own issue, but I think of it as an opportunity to make a memory for the other person,
Absolutely.
because I was the other person for so much, and I still am a lot of times, and nothing is more. I don't want to say heartbreaking. That's a little dramatic, but nothing is more, I don't know, than to go up to someone you really admire, tell them they did a great job or whatever you say, and for them to not acknowledge your existence in the world.
Right.
So I try to look them right in the eye. I try to sign their thing. I try to really be present in the moment, and I don't turn people away, even if they're interrupting me or whatever. That takes priority when someone comes up to me, even if we're in the bathroom, which there's a famous picture, I think it was 2 conventions ago, of me in the bathroom with the urinals, because me and somebody else hugging next to the urinals, because they'd closed out all the men's rooms and we were using the women's rooms because it's all women. And somebody went, "Oh my God, it's Lisa Wilber." So yeah, the famous urinal picture. But
Yeah.
it's
This is TMI for the audience, and I apologize for this up front, but one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life was two guys who were first introduced to each other in a business meeting, but we were all in the restroom, and they one of them say, "Hi, I'm." It wasn't me. I'll use my name. "Hi, I'm Jeff," and sticks out his hand to shake hands, and the other guy says, "I'm not shaking your hands till after we go over there." Talking about washing hands.
I'm
I started
surprised.
laughing. I couldn't stop. That everybody in the bathroom starts laughing. Well, your point there is so on the money, because here's the thing: when you take time to even just communicate, to touch, to show some sort of value there, that you value that person, even if you don't know them. I mean, they were kind enough to come up to you or whatever. You have to you have to know what a good impact that can have. We were in my writing class that I'm taking with John David Mann. By the way, everybody, remember to mark your calendar next week on the 25th, I believe it is. John
Yay.
David Mann and possibly Anna Gabriel Mann are going to be joining us. I'm taking a writing class from John now, and I feel like I'm good at what I do with the writing, but I want to get better. And so John's got a writing mastery mentorship program, and I was literally the first person to sign up. I was As soon as he announced that it was ready, he would talk about it. I shot an email, says I want to talk, and we'd gone through. He didn't even. I told him, I said later. I said, I'm probably spoiling you on the sales process, because he told me what was going to be going on and what the price was. I said, I'm in. He didn't have to ask me if I wanted it or anything. And so, but he was talking about how Bob, one of the reasons that the Go Giver sold over 1 million copies. Now, for those in the audience, 1 million copies of a book is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Most self-published books, actually, the average book of all kinds, self-published and traditional published, the average book sales number is 200.
And
That's
that's all time, not the first
Yeah,
year.
that's right.
That's all
We
time.
did more than
Yeah.
that our first weekend out. We were self-published, so I
Yeah.
was pretty pleased. But the so back to what I said. But the Go Giver sold over 1 million copies, and that's big. And that's big for the publishing company. That's big for the brand. That's big for the message you're trying to deliver. It's big for the authors, because it's a nice income when that's going on like that. And so John was talking about one of the reasons that the Go Giver was so successful was because of how Bob Berg is amazing at this. Literally, every time someone says anything about the Go-Giver or John or Bob makes it a point to personally comment. Here's a very famous man who is genuinely, literally one of my five favorite, well, outside of family, one of my five favorite people in the world. And he takes the time every time to respond to people. And so that's
I
something
don't know how he does
I don't either because I got really busy. I've always responded to people, but you remember during the launch of Said the Lady with the Blue Hair, how busy it got.
Yeah,
And I realized how hard it was to keep doing that, and I did it though.
I
I'd
don't
always
know.
somebody say something, I would always thank them. I would make a comment. I would often even share their post about it. But Bob's been doing that ever since The Go-Giver came out, and that's one of the reasons it sold over 1 million copies. And so, in my effort to try to do that,
Right.
I'll do the same thing. I'll talk with people, and I even had a Zoom call this week on I think it was Tuesday evening, and it was a lady out of Australia, out of
Oh,
Western
yay.
Australia, and she had read the Unexpected Tour Guide, and then she, when people get the Audible version of the Unexpected Tour Guide, I give them a free course, a course that I've been selling for years for $97, but I give it to that group for free. And there's a commercial in the recording, but she had sent me a LinkedIn message asking a question about how it might apply in her business model. And I said, well, I'll be glad to, if you want to jump on a Zoom call at any time, I'll be glad to brainstorm with you a little bit about it. So this week, she and I spent about 30 minutes on there. I just did it because she's a nice person and I wanted to be helpful, and she appreciated it. And it matters to people when you treat them that way. It just matters. And I think the whole world would be better off if we were that way. And uh, the more politics that go on and all that stuff, I just think the world's gone nuts. But every now and then you'll see a little glimmer that makes me happy with the world. That was one of them. So,
Well, isn't it the go-giver thing though? That I think that's
it
why I'm
is.
so attracted to the whole movement, because I felt that this all was going on before that.
Right.
But to me, it was if somebody's going to take the time to care about my book or come see me or something, that's part of my job
Yep.
to make them feel special or make them feel valuable. And it was funny because husband number two, he genuinely thought I was feeding my ego by doing those things. He didn't understand how it works. And when I'd say, doing this stuff is what I do for job, and he'd say they should leave you alone while you're eating or something. I said, listen, I'll order room service later. I
Right.
don't. I'm in a room with a whole bunch of people, and I need to do my job. That's my
Right.
job.
Right.
So it was hard to explain to him. That's why he had to go. No.
And so you released him into the
I
wild.
released him to move on to another opportunity. So
We
you
have
want
a Facebook user that said, "Hello, Lisa and Jeff. I can't tell who you are, but hello back. We're glad you're here."
to Peg says, "Oh, good ex-hubby stores." I am so bad about that. So another way that this could work. So because I'd been in one of Avon's things, once you're in something, you can. I mean, I bet you I was the biggest purchaser of those rich and famous things.
Mhm.
And I gave them out, sent them out and everything. And then somebody will see it and they did an article. Actually, this was a paid section that the DSA, Direct Selling Association, had and mentioned Avon.
Mhm.
And when the DSA went to Avon and said, give me the name of a couple reps, they gave them me. But it's because I kept being in front and center.
Right.
So you almost have to do it yourself, whether or not you feel like you deserve it, whether or not you are confident about it. That makes no difference. You have to put yourself front and center. And this was in Fortune magazine. Woo! Fortune magazine.
Wow.
And they had a special advertising section, and it says in here, take Avon Representative Lisa Wilber, Ware, New Hampshire, back in 1990. Wilber was laid off her secretarial job, and it tells a little bit about my thing. But to be in a big magazine like this,
That's
and
huge.
yeah, I bought a bunch of copies, and it's only huge, I think, if you take advantage of the opportunity.
Right.
Because now some of the other people that were in like the rich and famous and mentioned in the articles, they didn't get the type of play I got off of it because they didn't go buy a bunch of copies. They didn't go send them out. They didn't get extra work because of it.
Right.
So I think you have to capitalize on that stuff.
Well, that's kind
And
of like
then,
there's the old saying that is so wrong that says knowledge is power. And I'm just going to tell you right now, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is information. The use of
Of knowledge.
knowledge properly is power. And what you did there, you got publicity, and that's all well and good, but then you use that publicity to make your business grow. And you also, you have a phrase you said to me early on in our collaboration was that you knew that once the book was written and out there that you'd be doing a lot of marketing and all that. And you told me that you I don't remember the exact phraseology, but something like constantly promoting.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know,
Oh, I
but
know. I used to say something all the time, and I forgot what it
well,
is.
I'm old and I don't remember. But
Relentless
yeah,
self-promotion.
relentless self promotion. That's how
Self-promotion.
you use it. But you do it in the right way. You do it. You're growing a business, and but you're doing it from a humble spirit. You're not doing it from being braggadocious. You're doing
Right.
you're doing
Well,
it
and
from the right spirit.
when I said relentless self-promotion, people do take it that way.
Right.
And so matter of fact, that's why I like to talk about it all the time, because people are not going to do these things because they're going to feel funny that self-promotion is bad.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, unless you take control of it and do it yourself, no one else is going to do it.
Right.
You're going to
Right.
be sitting there in a little trailer in New Hampshire, and no one will know you're doing anything. You
Right.
could be as good as you want. You could be number one in the country, and no one's going to know it. As a matter of fact, in my company in Avon, I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 don't. But you know what? No one knows them.
That's right. None of them have blue hair either, by the way.
That's true. So let me show you one other one here.
Okay.
This was in the magazine Fast Company. Fast
I'm
Company
not
had
familiar
it.
with. Not
Okay.
familiar.
There's a magazine called Fast Company, and they did a thing where you could write in. And when I saw that, I thought, hey, I'll do that. And you write in your story, and it was like a global readers challenge is what they called it. This was 2002. And I got picked to be featured on their website. So I didn't make the magazine, but it didn't matter. I
Mhm.
printed it off. I sent it out to everybody. And the headline says, "Marketing pays off for $1 million Avon lady." They loved it. I loved it. I got to use it. Lots of mileage.
Yep.
So sometimes it's I just get their attention one way. Sometimes it's and another one I'll show you quick is you might they spent so much time making me look presentable in this. This was hilarious. This magazine called Avon Dreams. I bet a bunch of people on have this. This came out in 2001 or 2. And they did a spread. Where's the big picture? This is the big picture. I don't know if you can.
Very cool. I like that.
I had a curly perm at this point. They spent half a day straightening my curly perm. And another fun fact: I'm only dressed up from the waist up. I had on.
You had on other clothes. You just weren't as dressy from the way.
I had on blue jeans from the waist down, and this on the way.
It's like I tell people all the time. I said we do this live show, and it gets seen by a good number of people, and all that.
And you're
And I
not
said
wearing
I'm
pants.
I'm wearing a $150 Tommy Bahama shirt with a $3 pair of Walmart sweatpants, but they're comfortable, and it's the way I like to roll.
The thought of that.
Well, the thing about that, I've been a quoted source for the National Federation of Independent Business. I've been
Oh,
quoted
nice.
in Sales and Marketing Management magazine, Peak Sales Recruiting, and some other things. But none of those would have happened if I hadn't been proactive about trying to get seen and do things like that. And my self promotion like that is not about making me look good. It's about trying to get the
Get your
notice so
story.
that I can do the next thing that can touch people's lives and can make a difference in people. And I can't do that if nobody knows who I am, because I read this in a book. You can be
Well, it's
successful at anything if enough people know what you do.
and Scott said they also want to wait until they make that kind of money first. He and I hear this all day long.
Yeah.
And I hear that my biggest one that I drives me bananas is other leaders, not just my company, but any company. They say, "Oh, I'll do those award certificates as soon as I'm making more money." Or I would do what she's doing if I was making the money she's making. And the reality is I'd sent award certificates from the first campaign when I made nothing.
Right.
And I did the pad of tear off teacher awards that looked childish
Mhm.
and sent them in the mail. And I didn't have the money to do that. But if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have what I have here now, I think.
Yeah. If you're going to be a leader, either in just, even if it's just your own business, if you're going to be a leader in that, but if you're going to be a leader in a direct sales group or an insurance group, you have to step into that leadership role where you are at the time, and you have to be willing to do the things then, and it doesn't have to cost a fortune, but you can do things that recognize people, and you can do a lot of things that cost you nothing. It's just picking up the phone, doing things. You make people feel noticed and appreciated, and they'll fight fires for themselves and for you. And it's just, it's the right way to live your life. So I'm proud of it.
You know, I can't wait to go to the convention this year because the new me, I can go, I am so proud of you. Thank you. I love you so much to my team members. I could never do that before.
I'm so proud you've evolved over the last year and a half.
They're going to think I'm on crack or something. They're going to be like, who are you?
Wait a minute, Lisa's been to the 420 room or something. I'm not sure what.
Before this, I was wearing a shirt that said, don't touch me.
I don't hug. I don't hug. I don't hug.
And now I'm like the hug person.
Even that one time that we actually got to meet in person in San Antonio for lunch that day, and you were talking about you didn't hug, and I said I don't care, and I hugged you anyway.
We did like a side hug though. I didn't
I did. I was
full hug you.
respectful to try to not invade your clown space, but
Yeah.
I made you hug.
You saw the future. See, you keep doing that. You saw the future, and it contained hugging. That's oh yeah. Oh, Scott said that was a man hug. Yeah, I'm known for the man hug. You know what the man hug is? You go in, tap, and pull out.
It's got to be 3 taps.
Oh, I didn't know it had to be 3. I thought it was 2.
You go in and you hug them. The guys can hug you. Hey man, good to see you. I do 3 taps on the back and then back out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was 3. I thought it was 2. I was misinformed.
It may vary state to state. That's what it is in Texas. Right? It's in the book. You can hug anybody as long as you tap them on the back 3 times.
There you go. There you go. So we're still doing all the things we were doing. I still haven't posted the review thing, how many we need. But I've been lining up. I've got more interviews coming up that I'm doing, and you've been doing some too. So we're still chugging, everybody. I still have more wristbands to send out. Yay!
I was on a show out of London this week, out of the UK.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
It'll start spreading the word out there as well. So.
Yeah, that is awesome. And it's funny, I think, for a lot of you that have been following this the whole time, like Scott, like Peg, like Janet, like a whole bunch of our friends, you probably originally thought this was going to be a short-term thing. And now you're thinking, oh, yeah, she was well, we were right, the 2 of us, because we knew it would be a long-term thing.
Right. So. And speaking of that, please, as you're watching this, if you've not already posted your review on Amazon, please do that. That's another thing John was talking about in our writing class. There are 14 of us in that class. And he was talking about Amazon reviews are a big deal. Ratings and reviews, and he was talking about you do need to be up over 100. That was kind of backed up what you had heard as well.
Oh, nice.
And said that's the ideal thing. But please go on, review, rate, do all the things and all the stuff. So.
Well, even I started doing reposting the endorsements, and I'm going to continue to do that because I do that about other stuff. We go back and start again. Go back and restart what we were doing. So we're going to start talking more about stuff we talked about already. And it's because, like in the Facebook group, we had 800 at launch. Now we have 1,500. So that's double the number of people that didn't know that stuff went on to start with.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to 1,600 now.
Oh, nice.
Well, we got the other day.
That's awesome.
And it's just it's. I don't know. I feel like this book has more magic in it than most things, and I just feel like
it's me.
It is you. Magic. It absolutely. I'm going to tell you that without a doubt. It is you because it's a book. I did a good job on my part, but what's making the magic happen is what you're doing now is kind of like what Bob did with The Go-Giver, and The Go-Giver didn't sell 1 million copies the first few months. It didn't sell it the first few years, but over time, as it just kept building and building, and how Bob would go in and each time somebody would make a comment, he would touch that person individually by a comment back. That's the part that
Well,
you're
that's
mastering.
so hard. That's so hard though, because like if I put up a post and I get 200 comments, I'm all of a sudden swamped. I'm like,
It's all right.
I try. Yeah.
Nothing more than a smiley face or a heart emoji. They'll appreciate the fact that you jumped on there, because what happens, we see ourselves as we are. I've known me for 63 years. I don't think I'm all that much. I just don't. I know when I've done well, and I know when I've fallen flat on my rear end, and so I don't think that way. But to other people, they say you as one of Avon's, you're the fifth highest earning person in Avon history. By the way, I just heard that yesterday that you're not only number 5 in the USA, you're number 5 in the world, and you're actually number 5 in the entire universe. I'm just telling you. But people who,
Nice.
who, who see that part, because they're walking into our story at that time, especially,
Right.
that you're way up on a pedestal, and there's a certain amount of fame and notoriety that will go with that for both of us. And when you take the time to just appreciate somebody like that, oh God, they said that's what's going to make this book sell 1 million copies someday. It's going to be
Well, and
what
I
you and
I
I
think
do
I'm
doing it.
getting better at expressing how I feel about stuff. Thank you. Don't make fun of
I-
me, you.
I'm not making fun of you. I smiled. How can that be making fun of you? Put that clown back in the trunk.
Okay, so I'm
I'm just proud
evolving
of
as a
you. I have watched
person.
what's happened, and I'm proud of you.
I'm evolving as a person.
You are. You are.
Yeah, I waited a long time for it, but I did. I did evolve as a
You were
person.
due. You're just catching up now. So,
Yes, some of the little side benefits are interesting,
yeah,
but
yeah. Green room. Right.
okay, yeah, green room for me. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Hey, we're over time. Guys,
okay,
we love you guys. Please share the episode. Please do all the things that you always do. We so appreciate all of you.
and thank you so much, everybody. Love you.
Bye. Did you turn us off? Because it still says live.